quite a ways on that. 120 miles to a gallon. I could drive all the way to Eau Claire on 1 gallon of gas. And they're doing it with the light bulbs too. The old light bulbs used to last. They used to last decades. In fact, there's old light bulbs, I guess, that are still burning. And the new ones, shit, they last a year. If you use it every day, it'll last a year, and that's about it. And yet these old ones, they'll last 30 years, 30 or 40 or 50 years. They're made better. And the thing is, they were making them that way for a while, and now they're not even as good. The lights aren't even as good as the old ones, so they've actually gone backwards with the lights. And the new lights don't put out as good of light. They put out an inferior type of light. It's not good for your eyes. And they've actually made it illegal. It's almost illegal to use the old lights now. You can't even buy them. I guess they took them off the market. So it's like, yeah, the whole thing is just run on corruption. And nobody knows it. Hardly anybody. Well, there are people that are catching on. But most common people don't know it. They think, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. No, it's proven. The old light bulbs last longer, and they're doing it with the cars. These cars are only about half the weight of what they used to be. And yeah, so they get half the gas, they get double the gas mileage. So they used to get 8 or 10, now they're getting 20 or 30. But they weigh half the weight, so your car is just made out of plastic. If they make a car lighter, they should get 200 miles to the gallon. You should be able to drive to Chicago on a gallon of gas. But no way, they can't do that because they wouldn't sell as much oil. Whoever's in charge, it might be government, it might be elites in the government or elites in big business. It might be both, because they kind of own each other. And then the same people who are running everything, they're the ones that are saying, oh, we're burning too much carbon. We're putting too much carbon in the air. Well, they don't believe that because they're encouraging us to burn more of it by giving us cars that don't have good gas mileage. So it's a scam. We're being scammed. And this solar thing, that's a scam too. It's something that you got to buy, and you got to replace it every 20 years. And people are borrowing money to put these on their houses, and they're not thinking of the fact that if you get an ice storm, all that's going to be broken. And also, if you after 25 years, you're going to have to replace it all. It's going to wear out. Then you got to buy it all over again, and then you got to insure it because it's on your house. You're probably going to have to. They're not cheap to put up there. You got to pay somebody to put them up there. You got to buy them, and then you got to insure it. And it's like they're just getting our money. And then you got to put another one on when that wears out. If you get hail or something, you got to replace it all. And they reprove them a little bit every year, and then it's just a means to make money. And they're always pushing this stuff. And I think it's a kind of a minor scam. I think there's some areas where they're pretty effective, like Arizona. But it's kind of a scam. We're being scammed. But they don't last that long, and they take natural resources to make. We're just being scammed by this stuff. It's in our cars. Our appliances are made to break down. They're made with all these things that wear out in 5 years, and then you got to either spend a lot of money to fix it, and you can't fix it yourself. You got to have someone come in, or you got to buy a new stove or a new washer, and it's like it's not even worth it to buy that stuff. It just doesn't keep running. I go to the laundromat. It's just not worth it. And yeah, this is all the stuff that they're advertising, putting on these ads. And whoever's at the top has got to know that this stuff's just garbage. It's made out of plastic. They put a stainless steel front on the fridge that you could use as a tank. You can't even pound a nail through it. But yet the gear in the motor, the parts, they're made out of nylon or plastic. And it's like, yeah, this stuff's garbage. It's all for show. But the stainless steel, gosh, that I put that up on the tower. Probably lasts as long as the tower does. But the little gear thing that runs the whole fridge is made out of plastic. It'll wear out. It's just junk. Okay, we're at 113.6, and this is the stuff they advertise. It's like, yeah, this is what they want us to buy. This is the garbage they want us to buy. And they've got to know what they're doing. I mean, the people that are at the retail level don't. They're just selling the thing to you. But even those people will tell you, yeah, this stuff isn't that good, but we don't have anything else to sell you. When I bought my stove, I got the simplest stove. I didn't get one with the fancy pads on it and stuff. And so I can replace everything on that stove. And one of the control knobs went out last week. And I can replace it. I looked it up. I can get the part for $15. And I can take the back off the stove. And it's real easy to replace. And you can't even buy these stoves, I don't think, anymore. I managed to get lucky and found one. But Mom's, when I took care of Mom, she went to the furniture store where they do stoves. I don't know if she was buying one or what. Or maybe we went there because I was looking for one. She took me to her where she got hers. And I talked to the guy, and he says, yeah, the stuff that they're putting out isn't good. He says, if you can get one that's just the plain knobs, that's the mechanical controls, that'll last, that'll be good. And he says, but they're not really easy to find. And that's what I got. And my burner, I've had burners go out, I've had elements go out, I can just replace them. I don't have to call a mechanic or anything. If you have a little bit of ambition, you can do it yourself. And you don't have to have very much, you don't have to have much knowledge. You don't have to have all that much, you don't have to be all that good. I've been able to do everything. I replaced the element. All you got to do is take a screw out. You got to be able to take a screw out. And you might have to pull the stove out, take the back off, if the wire falls in or something. And then for this control, you got to take the top off the stove, and it's just, you just plug the pieces in. You need a little pair of pliers and a screwdriver. It's not that hard to do. And I'm not a real mechanical person, but I could do it. And I got to replace one of the controllers. I found out what's wrong with it. I know what I need. It's the front burner, the front large burner. It stays on high. The controller is broken. So I'll get it's only a $15 part. I looked it up. And I'll have to pull the stove out to do it. But it's real easy to do. You need a pair of pliers and a screwdriver. That's all you need. You gotta turn off you gotta unplug it or something. It's basically just Tinker Toy work. It's easy. I gotta get gas. And they got everybody buying these things with all these fancy gadgets on them and everything and pads. And they break down, and